Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate. I'm a certified health and nutrition coach. I post new videos twice a week talking all things insulin resistance, weight loss, sleep, and more. So if you're ready to take control of your metabolic health, make sure to click that subscribe button. And you can also find me on TikTok and Instagram, where I share new posts every single day. So today's video, it's gonna be a bit of a fun one. I'm going to be unboxing my ButcherCrowd order. Now, if you guys have been around my channel for a while, you've probably heard me speak about ButcherCrowd before. I have been using their services and working with them for probably 3 or 4 years now, and I cannot recommend them enough. So I'm not just going to be unboxing, but as I unbox everything, I'm going to be telling you how I would, or how I am, going to cook and prepare all of the different products that I got in my box. So of course, all of the recipes I'm going to be mentioning are going to be insulin resistance friendly, they're going to be blood sugar friendly, they're going to support weight loss if that's your goal, and they're going to have adequate protein. Because protein is the most important macronutrient no matter your goals. Most people are not consuming enough, especially women. We need to be getting at least 30 grams per meal and 30 grams of quality protein specifically, which means animal protein, because animal protein, it's more bioavailable. We're able to actually use more of the protein that's in the food. With some plant sources, this isn't the case. Plant sources of protein are also incomplete protein sources, which means they don't contain all of the essential amino acids that we need. But anyways, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I should probably tell you what ButcherCrowd is and why I love them so much. So they are a meat delivery service that is based in Australia. They deliver Australia-wide, and their focus is on delivering high quality, sustainable, ethically raised meat straight to your door. And I won't tell you too much about the specific products right now. We'll go through that as we go along. So ButcherCrowd has a whole bunch of different boxes to choose from. The one I am currently getting is actually a custom box. So I've picked everything that's in it, but they have boxes that just have beef, just have chicken, have a mix of the two, have seafood, have salmon. There is a wide range, and of course you can always add to them as well. So the first thing that I got in this order is a Scotch Fillet steak. All of the beef in ButcherCrowd boxes is 100% grass-fed and finished Australian beef. This steak specifically is from Tasmania. It's 𝘾𝙊𝘼𝘾𝙃 pure beef. And my favorite way to cook steaks is in the air fryer. Now, if you've never heard of this method before, hear me out. You can literally cook steaks from frozen to perfectly medium rare in 7 to 9 minutes. I think I've actually done a recipe video, like a 90-second one, years ago. I'm gonna link that up above if I can find it. But yeah, super easy recipe, turns out delicious. I mean, does it compare to if you maybe reverse sear a steak where it's super crispy on the outside? Maybe not. It does get a little bit crispy on the outside, but not as much as if you did a proper reverse sear. But honestly, in terms of time and convenience and the fact that you can cook it from frozen, 10 out of 10. And then I have some minced beef. So what I usually do with minced beef is, most of the time, honestly, I make a bolognese. So chop up some onions, some garlic, saute those in a pan, then add the beef, add some tomato sauce, add some spices, cook that up, and let it simmer for a bit until it reduces. And then I serve it with some spaghetti squash. So low carb, delicious, 10 out of 10 again. I can't rate all of my recipes. I'm honestly just gonna give them all a 10. And then we have some frozen beef burgers. Pretty self-explanatory. The way I would cook these is I would make a burger bowl or serve them on like a lettuce wrap. I love making just like a classic cheeseburger with onions, pickles, tomato sauce. Oh, so Australian of me, but I guess I do live here. We call it ketchup in North America, but they call it tomato sauce here. Anyways, lost my train of thought. But there's so many different ways to make burgers, some goat's cheese and some beets, phenomenal as well. Next up, we have some seafood. Doesn't this look yummy? Well, you don't like fish that much. I'm gonna start off by talking about, I actually have 2 serves of the 𝘾𝙊𝙄𝙆𝙄𝙉𝙂. So all of the seafood that you can get in ButcherCrowd boxes is Australian, 100% wild caught, with the exception of the salmon, and we'll get to that in a second. It's still wild caught, it's just not Australian, that's the only difference. Okay, so this is something that I've only started cooking recently. Honestly, the only type of fish I used to cook in the past was salmon, and it wasn't until I started getting different types of fish and seafood in my ButcherCrowd boxes that I started eating it more, or eating it more at home at least. So just pan frying this or cooking it on the barbecue. I always defrost it first. Really the only one I would eat from frozen would be the steak. Just putting that out there. Oh, I should probably say that with your ButcherCrowd order, everything comes frozen and it's packaged so that even if you're not home when it arrives, it can still last for several hours. And by last, I mean stay frozen. So with this, I will defrost it and honestly just pan fry it with a little bit of lemon or lime. Pan fry it in some ghee. That is so delicious. Serve it with some low carb vegetables, some broccolini, some asparagus, maybe some fried onions as well. I absolutely love fried onions. They are so, so good. That is how I would probably eat this. And then back to the salmon. So this is the only seafood that ButcherCrowd carries that is not Australian. And the reason being is because there is no wild salmon in Australia. Any salmon you buy that's Australian is farmed. And I do have other videos talking about the problems with farmed salmon, which I will link above. But salmon is one thing that you really want to be trying to eat wild caught as much as possible. Farmed salmon really is toxic for our bodies. And I don't say that lightly. So this is actually wild caught Canadian salmon. I believe they sometimes have wild caught Alaskan salmon too, or maybe they just switched, but 100% wild caught. Like I said, really, really hard to find in Australia. So I love that ButcherCrowd has made it more accessible. Next up, let's talk lamb. So I have some frozen lamb loin chops here. I've been getting these in my boxes for probably a couple of years. They are so, so good. Just look at the amount of fat that is on these. And of course, when you're trying to eat a low carb diet for insulin resistance, for diabetes, for weight loss, you want to make sure you are getting adequate fat. Now, lamb fat and beef fat in particular, they have something that is known as stearic acid, which is a type of fat that is especially beneficial for weight loss and supporting our metabolisms. You can actually buy it in a supplement that's targeted at weight loss. That's how amazing it is. So if you're concerned about eating too much fat and too much animal fat when your goals are weight loss, do not be. It can actually support it. Again, 100% grass-fed and finished Australian lamb. Like I said, I just usually grill these on the barbecue. That's my favorite way to do them. And then we have some chicken thigh. This is actually getting so cold on my hands. This is 100% pasture raised, cage free. What's the word? I think pasture raised is just the best way to describe it. It says free range on it. Yep, free range, pasture raised. So the best type of chicken you can buy. Most of the chicken we get is caged. If it does say free range, sometimes there's a little bit, just the standards for labeling are a little bit wishy-washy. Sometimes they're allowed to call it free range just if there's a door letting the chicken go outside, even if they don't go outside at all. So yeah, all that is not good, which is why I love that ButcherCrowd makes getting high quality chicken super easy. Chicken thighs I usually do in the oven. I'll kind of do like some sort of bake, maybe with like mushrooms and cream. Honestly, I kind of just make things up as I go. You can also do like a lemon and herb one and with like a little bit of bone broth. You can also put them in the slow cooker and do them that way, or a pressure cooker if you have one. So many ways to have chicken. You can also do them in a stir fry, obviously. chop them up into little pieces, serve them with a whole bunch of vegetables and some tamari sauce. That's probably how I'm going to eat this chicken. And the last thing in my ButcherCrowd order is honestly one of my favorite things that I get, and this is apple and sage sausages. These are pork sausages, and the only ingredients they contain are pork, apples, sage, salt, and pepper. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked at the labels, the nutritional labels and ingredients on sausages. They are usually loaded with fillers, they're loaded with flour, they have sugar added a lot of the time, and just have a whole bunch of different preservatives. Not great. Sometimes these can actually make them slightly higher in carbs, which if you're trying to stick to a low carb diet, not ideal, obviously. These have none of that. And honestly, these are so juicy. They taste so amazing. I bring these to barbecues sometimes when it's kind of just like everyone brings something, and they are always a hit. Again, do them on the barbecue. Sometimes I'll even just do them in my air fryer if I'm having like a breakfast, and then I'll chop them up and maybe do like a scramble. So I'll do like, start with the sausages in my air fryer. I'll start scrambling the eggs and maybe doing some mushrooms and some other vegetables. And then I'll chop up the sausage and toss it in, mix it through. Might top that with some avocado. 10 out of 10, delicious. I love eggs. I love these sausages. If they don't come in the box you order, add them. You will not regret it. And yeah, that is everything that I am currently getting in my ButcherCrowd order. Now, I get the small box because I am just one person, and if I get too much, I'm not gonna be able to go through it. But they have larger boxes. Like I said, you can do as many add-ons as you want. And it's really great because you can pause or change your subscription at any time. So maybe you didn't get through all your sausages, maybe you have too much beef and your next subscription is due. Totally fine. You can just swap it up or take some things out, add some things in. You can do that at any time. Like I said, if you didn't get through anything, again, you can just pause your subscription, start it up again the following month. And if you need to, you can cancel it. But honestly, like I said, I have been using ButcherCrowd for 3 or 4 years. Here and there, I've had to pause it when I've kind of gotten behind and my freezer's still been full when my next order is due, but it's super simple to do. Yeah, I've been getting it consistently, mix up my boxes. So if you're in Australia and you want to check out ButcherCrowd, you can click the link in the description box down below and make sure to use code KATE15 because that's gonna save you 15% off your first box. And they're always running promotions where you can get like free steak for a year and other things like that. So just head to their website. You'll be able to learn more, see the deals, learn about the company, check out the products. And if you guys have already tried ButcherCrowd, if you're currently subscribed to them, let me know what your favorite item is in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. Once again, I love ButcherCrowd. I love everything they stand for. I love that they're getting high quality Australian local meat so accessible, and especially when it comes to seafood. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.